welcome back to Founder to Founder. I'm Arianna and I'm so excited. We partnered with Aurora Sellers to bring you this Founder to Founder with Mai of MaiOMai today. Aurora Sellers holds a near and dear spot in my heart because it's located in Leelanau, Michigan, which is one of my favorite places to be, and it holds the name of my great-grandmother, who I'm named after. So not only is Aurora Sellers sentimental for my family, but they're also family-owned by siblings Sam and Taylor Simpson, who have a long family heritage of farming on the Leelanau Peninsula. Today we are featuring the Brut Rosé. I will preface, it is 10 a.m., so we are going to wait on the rosé for now. Save it for later. We have beautiful weather today, which I'm so excited about. But this has hints of candied cherries on the nose. It's orange rind on the finish and a dry but fruity sparkling rosé. My partner and I love to refer to this wine as excellent boat wine. So it's perfect in the summer, perfect for a sunshine-filled day. But we are going to get started. Mai, do you mind kind of sharing a little bit about yourself first and kind of a little bit of your story while I play musical chairs with our products?
Sure. My name is Mai. A little bit about my products. Just growing up with my mom, doing home remedies from her cooking to her healing. It's always been a part of my life. And then when I had children, I wanted to do something else a little bit more rewarding instead of working in the financial industry. So I became a postpartum doula, and I thought it made sense to make a skincare line for, particularly because my daughter has some sensitive skin issues. So it just makes sense between my cooking and making natural skincare, just to feel like I could give back to the world.
Well, as somebody whose eczema is part of my personality at this point, I am so excited that we're talking today because just growing up, kind of like you said, like being a kid who has really sensitive skin makes it just kind of hard to be a kid. I feel like every time I would be in the grass, I knew that I would have itchy skin for like the next 2 days after, and you get tired of like the very like steroid-esque just medicines and stuff. So I love that it's all natural. So what led you to start MaiOMai then?
So it was my daughter that had some skin issue. We'll go to the pediatrician when they tell me there's nothing wrong with your skin, your daughter's skin. So because I'm a mom, I'm always expecting her. I had to advocate for her, so I decided, you know what, because she had a mild eczema issue, so I decided, let's just try to figure out what she needs instead of using cortisone and whatnot. So that's how it started too as well.
That's very cool. So you brought 3 products. I have gotten to use the facial cleanser. I have not opened up the bar that you gave me, but I think this is another one. So do you want to walk through each of them and we can maybe end on that one?
Sure.
Okay.
So this is a belly serum. When I was pregnant, I used an oil base for my belly. It was important because as your belly is growing, your skin is stretching, it's so important to hydrate, otherwise you're going to constantly scratch and itch, and I was trying to avoid having stretch marks. So, which is what inspired me to create a belly serum for moms. And then this other one that I have is a honey oatmeal goat milk soap bar. It's great. So majority of my products, I use essential oil. This is the only one that does not have essential oil. That being said, is because people that have sensitive skin, such as eczema, psoriasis, or just reacting to dry products that have fragrance. This one does not have fragrance. All my products do not have fragrance. It's made with essential oil. And then this other one that is very new is the facial cleanser. I thought what was a perfect way to create a cleanser that can actually also massage your face at the same time. So I actually tested this product for a year on myself before putting it out there. So you twist it while you're twist it up. You can either yank your face or just take a put this under the sink, under the running water. And what you do is run a lather, a nice lather, and what's doing is cleaning and massaging your face lightly. And then you can launch it, finish it off with your fingertips, and then just wash it off.
Yeah, this has honestly been my favorite one that you sent, and I think when we initially connected, you were talking about getting ready to launch it, so I'm so happy that you were able to launch it just in time for this.
Yes.
I enjoyed it because I feel like sometimes with like skincare products or like really like any care products like hair, skin, face, whatever, you have a hard time knowing like how much you should be using. And so this is so innovative because you are literally just kind of like using what you need while you're using it, and then like I love finishing it off with my hands. It just like feels like the consistency is really nice.
Yes.
And it feels so soothing. So that, wow, chef's kiss on that one. That one has been like, I'm such a fan, and I even I've been keeping the lavender body lotion. That one's been so nice. I try to use lavender more in the evening to like help relax my mind before going to bed, and that one's just been so nice because again with eczema, I feel like I'm hydrating like 3 to 4 times a day, especially when the weather is hot and cold the way it is in the spring, especially in the Midwest. But that's been a really cool product, and I'm excited to see you continue growing within your product line. So what was your first product then?
My first product, I want to say I can't remember now. It was a lip balm, which is, we've taken it off the product line. It was either that or a classic bar soap. This is not our classic bar soap. This is more of a rustic bar. Our classic bar soap is 2 goat milk and 2 shea butter that we have right now. But those are the 2 that I started first.
That's really cool. So, I mean, it sounds like your kids were your main inspiration as you got started with this. Along with them, I know you've shared a little bit about your family history and your background. Do you want to dive into that a bit?
Yes, so I think the part of growing up is watching my mom. Both my parents have been resourceful, so I have them to thank because watching them utilize what they have around them is also important for me to pass that down to my children. So they actually watch me create products. Very seldomly I'll let them out because it's just, they're kids still.
Right.
But to the fact that they can actually watch me make something, just showing them like, you can make this yourself. From cooking, I do get them all cooking, which is great. They love herbs. They understand the impact of herbs that they put inside the body, how much it benefits them. They are the only kids that I know that can draw garden.
That's pretty rare, yeah. That has quite a bite to it.
Right, and they love it. So I get them involved in gardening because if they can grow and watch the resource, they understand the work that goes into it. And then the harvest that they, when it's time to harvest, they'll eat right off the garden, so which is really nice. Yes.
That's awesome. So, do you mind sharing, because I think you and I connected more on like our cultural backgrounds. Do you mind kind of sharing about how that influence also is seen in your business?
Yes. So, growing up, my parents always cooked herbs. My mom did, from pho has a lot of herbs. They think of food almost as a way to medicate and also satisfying your stomach and your appetite. I think we can benefit on both. With that said, I think herbs can benefit with, for your body internally and also differently externally. So for an example, turmeric. It's great for skin. It's great for just the toning of your skin, for acne, eczema, and psoriasis. If you take that internally, it's a good anti-inflammation. So turmeric is a really great herb to eat and to drink in tea, also in skin products as well.
That is so cool. I had some ginger turmeric tea this morning, and I feel like for me, ginger is like my staple because as I get older, it's really fun. Your stomach starts to get more upset at different times, and I have gin candy in my car, or ginger, not gin candy. I have ginger candy in my car, like in the house. We have ginger ale on hand. It's like obviously a little different, but it's really cool to see the ways that you can lean into the more natural solutions, and it just like feels better too. I feel like as you are remedying yourself with it, it doesn't feel as, I don't know. I know there's a difference when my eczema's flared up and I'm using like those white tubes of like gross eczema cream versus using something that's like honey or
Right.
oils or like
Right.
just different more natural things.
Don't get me wrong, I believe in both, right?
Right,
I think it's good to have access to both, but finding what works for your body is the key to this. Some people are allergic to garlic, some people might be allergic to rosemary, but it just varies. Like I said, I think the key thing is finding what ingredient works for you, either in skincare product line or in food. So that is important.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, not to knock cortisone cream at all. It has saved my butt numerous times, but there is something nicer about having something that smells more lemony or yummy rather than like a strictly cream.
Right.
So tell me about your kids. Tell me about that inspiration that comes with them, and what is that like being able to like be that role model in such a direct way with your girls?
I think most mothers and most parents can relate to when I say this is it's a challenge trying to find that balance. But I think because I live with them, they're like the number one critics. So they push you to the limit, but they also want you to. They test me out. Like, okay, how can I be a good role model to them? So makeup products is one. I just didn't want to be a stay-at-home mom. What can I do? I try to reach out when I'm out with the kids or out when I see a new mom, because getting certified as a postpartum, what can I do to help? Because it's the hardest part in transitioning from, taking care of yourself. Now you have to take care of this new baby, because kids don't come with instructions. So you have to figure out what works for this kid, from sleeping to feeding to, some kids can get to a challenge where they may have food sensitivity, which my youngest daughter has. So it has been a challenge. It has pushed me to cook cleaner, I would say. But we're working through her food sensitivity. So that's where my inspiration has come in.
That's like really interesting. I feel like the more, again, as you get older, you become more aware of like the food that you're eating, how it impacts your body, and then especially once you have kids. I have a lot of friends right now who are kind of going through those life stages of having kids now. It definitely changes your perspective, because it's like I want to make sure I'm setting like a good standard of what they should expect when they're eating and like what they want to put in their bodies and the care that goes into it. So it's very inspiring to hear how intentional you've been about it and how you're able to see those correlations between both consuming and then like putting on your body. That's really awesome. I feel like it's a lot of work, but like it makes such a difference.
Right. I think a lot of challenges with most parents, most people have is when they find out their issue, like how do they overcome it? I think, so for an example, with my daughter, she has food sensitivity. She could have gluten, she could have dairy, she could have, it was easier to focus what she could have versus what she couldn't have. So with friends that actually have been through it, so it was nice to have that support. So having kids is also, I think, between kids, and I always tell my kids, you'll always be a student for life. So you're always evolving and always learning. So with her food sensitivity, it was basically rebuilding her gut. At one point, she was just eating meat and vegetables. That's it, protein and vegetables. But we're rebuilding that and just trying to learn. Kids are resilient, because I thought, how is she going to adjust to this new way of eating? But she understood, because there was a few times I said, okay, we want this something, or let me try it, and then she would feel really sick. So she understood the consequence if she ate gluten or ate dairy. But she, her being almost 6, so she understands that pretty well.
Yeah. So how have you felt? I mean, starting and growing a business is hard but like doing it while also being like a mom of 2 and wanting to continue kind of like being that role model for them while also like pushing for more like for yourself in this business. What has that balance been like?
It's been a huge challenge, because in 2018, that's when I started the product line. We also moved from San Francisco to Ohio, and I said to myself, how am I going to adjust? My husband has been like my rock, because he said, it's your business. Slow grow however you want. Stick to your mission, and I'm going to be here to support you however you want to grow the business. So since 2018, I'm not a big business. It's all about finding balance, because at the end of the day, care of my family first, and then the business comes second. So having his support has been helpful. And as the girls are getting older, they are getting a little easier too as well, so they're a little bit more independent. So finding that balance and that, you know, the drive, right? And then COVID happened. Like, you know, the upside of owning my business is that I don't have to work if I didn't want to. So that was nice because it allowed me to regroup and refocus and say, what do I want my business to be? So that's been nice.
That's awesome. So I'm going to lean into one of our final questions, but definitely wanted to continue the conversation. So we talked a lot about how your kids and your boyfriend inspired you. What do you do that inspires yourself?
I love to cook. And I love music. So when I'm making products or cooking, I'm always listening to music. You know, all the local Tribe Called Quest, to Corporation, to ERE. But the fact that if I cook you a dish and I nailed it because I either hit a note or created something that makes everything that has been inspiring, or if you live closer to me, the fact that I know that you have eczema, I would literally would go into my workspace and try to find something that works for you. And I have done some custom products for people that have eczema, people that have, I believe it's rosacea skin. So I have done some custom products for even with anxiety because the products, the essential oil does support and help reduce the anxiety, reduce the stress, reduce the skin reaction. So that's the part of my inspiration is trying to make something that works for someone.
That's awesome. And I mean, I just feel like your mission is so, it's just like such a common thread. And everything that you're doing, it's meant to make it work for somebody, whether it's your daughter or for a friend or just the consumer that is buying this product. So I feel like I want to do this interview justice since it's debuting in Women's History Month without talking about Women's History Month. So how do you celebrate the month?
I do it with my family. Now that I have kids, I know it's you know, I try to find space for myself and then also space for the family. But you know, going to the library is one. Talking to other women. I have friends that own their own business, so just trying to pump it up, say, can you do this? Because, you know, being a mom is hard because most of my friends that have kids, or the ones that don't have kids, it's always trying to connect because without relationship, I think it's meaningless, right? Having that connection with another individual and just showing my girls, you can do this. It's important for me to be a role model to them and letting them know, you know, regardless what it is, if it's they're taking piano or they're doing gymnastics, you put in the work. You know, for example, I make my girls practice pianos every single morning for at least, you know, from 10 to 15 minutes because I want them to understand there's a process to the end goals. Sometimes it's not always a win goal, but there's a process and there's a journey behind that. So that's important for me to share that with my girls.
And I love how much you work and are intentional about leading by example and being like, I'm not asking you to do anything that I'm not also doing.
Right.
So I feel like it's so empowering for a little girl or whomever to see like their parent that they look up to doing the hard work with them. Like I think that is just, it just means so much more than just being told to do something.
The other thing is we're trying to teach about community. So for an example, we do cook. Like I cook, the girls come with me, we drop out food, chocolate. You know, we make chocolate candy bars for Christmas. So this past Christmas, we made chocolate candy bars and we passed it down to our neighborhood as a Christmas gift. So that was really nice.
Oh, that's so cool. Well, before we wrap up, you have a new website. Do you want to share where we can find more products and more of MaiOMai?
Sure. So it's not a new website. We updated our website. Thank you.
It looks fresh.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So you can definitely go on to MaiOMai.com to find out more about myself, my company, my mission, and more about my products.
So thank you guys so much for joining us. Founder to Founder drops the third Friday of every month, and a huge shout out to women-owned coffee shop The Cove in Central Ohio. We'll link them below as well. And thank you to Aurora Sellers for making this interview possible today. be sure to go to auroracellars.com and tempt yourself with a wine membership. We'll see you next time.